delighted that we are going to present this top digital transformation leader enterprises award and the report. This team of analysts at Coesage have studied and discovered 24 digital transformation leaders across 16 industries sectors through a very extensive research program. These are essentially the organizations that have been successful in implementing the digital transformation. You can take them to be the beacon lights for everyone who is on that journey. And let me tell you shortly why I say so, because of which this report is also extremely important. Now, digital transformation is a much talked about word for a long time now, but each time it acquires a different meaning and standards in a very, very changing, or I would say an ever-changing world. In a recent research, it was found that 76% organizations envisaging a long-term IT change, which in today's scenario means putting in more automation and bringing in newer technologies like artificial intelligence, etc., into the organization. Yet, in most cases, digital transformation remains a work in progress, with a long way to go, isn't it? For most of us, only about 30% of the companies navigate a digital transformation successfully. Hence, this award and research comes at a very, very opportune time. In the recent BRICS summit, our Honorable Prime Minister says, a key pillar to India's current economy recovery is technology-led growth. And Mr. Modi further went on to say that India was witnessing a kind of digital transformation never before seen in the world stage. Now, take a closer look and let me just tell you the reason why digital transformation does not reach its goal is less about technology availability, but more about other reasons like employee pushback, maybe lack of management commitment. But very often, I must say, it is due to the lack of expertise or skill set available. Now, according to one of the articles that I read from PwC, their India highlights of PwC 2022 Global Risk Survey, 6 in 10 executives feel the need to actively seek external insights to assess and monitor risks in a very increasingly disruptive business environment. But let me say very, very clearly, despite all the barriers, sometimes the change is a requirement to keep up with the time, because not changing is far riskier than changing. So every organization today needs a strategy for digital transformation that is now accepted by all. And many studies point out that the key for every enterprise to survive in future would be things like agility, things like customer experience. And you can see the change today as every enterprise wants to deliver a very personalized experience to the customer. And these are all online transactions that you see. See the banks, see e-commerce, telecom. You search for a ticket to a destination. Maybe you don't buy it, but as soon as you finish that site and you come out of it, maybe you want to buy it tomorrow, you will get flooded with offers for the destination. Same with the e-commerce. You search for a product, you'll get hordes of similar product being sent to you with great offers. Now that starts to happen. So this clearly means a lot of data is getting generated as we move towards what our Prime Minister correctly said, a technology-led growth. But behind all these personalized experience, real-time experience, is automation and what I call as data-driven business. The one other big tech shift that I should definitely talk about, and we have seen in a while, is the journey from central computing to distributed computing to cloud computing, and now a term that's gathering momentum is what we call as edge computing. So in the foreseeable future, we will live in a very complex hybrid world, and we have to harness data and analytics not just at the central computing level, but at the edge computing. And that's going to open up immense possibility. The big change then is the ability of the edge computing to collect this data, analyze the data, and act on it to give a very seamless experience to the customers. Gone are the days of lagging central computing insights. The data is now acted upon where it is generated at an instant. Now look at the kind of data that's getting generated. Every transaction leaves a trail. Last year alone, every person created 1.7 megabytes of data per second. 70.3 billion real-time transactions were processed, up 41% from a year before. And it is estimated that this year we will probably end up generating 71 zettabytes of data. And we can explain what that size means, but all of you can read through Google, that's a huge size. I can only say that you can store up to 30 billion high definition movies in 1 zettabyte of data. So imagine the amount of data this is generated. And this is expected to become double by 2025, which is about 181 zettabyte of data. So data is important, and data has started to play a major role in taking the right decisions. Now, more than ever before, data-driven business is becoming fundamental to success. But the challenge is, which data to use, when, and where. As far as data is concerned, it's not about how much you have it, but how you use it will give you that edge. And it's often heard, and I hear this term very, very often when I talk to people, infinite data is equal to infinite opportunities and infinite possibilities. Okay, I talked so much about data, but let me clarify. BMC is not a data analytics company, but we are a data operations company. Deepak will talk about it. Our solutions orchestrate your complex data operations, your data pipeline, interpreted into what we call as actionable insights and create business values. The ones that I talked about in the beginning, examples of e-commerce and other kind of sales. So some about 3-4 years back, we looked at many data parameters, a lot of survey data. What will a future organizations look like? What tools will it need to be successful? So we started working on technology that this enterprise of future will need. Let's call this enterprise of future an autonomous digital enterprise. In short, I'm going to keep referring this to as ADE. Now, what this organization is supposed to have at future, maybe 2025, is it's got to be highly agile. It's got to be truly disruptive on one side, while still supporting traditional business model, because I told you it's going to be a hybrid world that we're going to live in. It delivers a customer-centric experience. You see, I look for a ticket to a destination, and it gave me feedback on that search that I did, right? So you're going to look at a more customized customer experience. Actually, it will go beyond. It will anticipate customer needs and will deliver the goods and services requested at the time via customers' preferred channel of choice. And all this will come through with the use of data that will drive actionable insight to serve and anticipate customer needs. World is changing. It's changing at an extremely fast pace, and there is no signs of slowing down. We can all feel the pace of change, and hence this report is extremely valuable.